Hey, what's happening, Form? It seems it's gonna be a new tradition of mine that whenever I consume any amount of alcohol, I'm gonna immediately start opening up OBS and talking about an Uber's tier. And I'm saying an Uber's tier because I don't want to limit myself to just Gen 9 Ubers, because I do like Gen 3 and 4 Ubers. And every now and then, I will play Gen 7 Ubers. And yes, that does usually involve a Lugia with Toxic. But I'm silly, and I also put Flash. No, the reason I'm talking about Gen 9 is just because I just happen to have Gen 9 Uber's teams on this computer. My last computer has a bunch of teams that I just never backed up. Anyways, I know I said something about alcohol, but I assure you I'm not actually drunk or wasted this time. I know I sound weird. One, there's a giant heat wave, so that means the AC has to be blasting. So the noise canceling is really fucking me up right now. You know what else is fucking me up? A fucking cold I have. See, when I said consume alcohol, I meant like literally any amount. I had a couple spoonfuls of alcoholic ice cream, and that shit kinda tasted mid. No, the real reason I sound like this is because it's fucking really late, and my cousin is visiting, but his road trip is on some weird wacko time, so he might pull up at any second. Someone has to be in the house and awake to you know, let him in. Anyway, so this is an actual real serious team that this time isn't actually like for shitheads like my last video where I made a funny mid-ladder team with rain and it didn't have Basque Legion in it, even with Last Respects or without it. Fun fact, Last Respects isn't actually really a big threat in Ubers. When you're playing with normal, real human beings, and not entry-level, I'm gonna make a stall team with Claude, Pex, Amoongus, Corviknight, and Blissey, because I'm the most boring fucking person on Earth. Shoutouts to the guy who constantly made new accounts so that if you tried going on an undefeated run to get a good ELO, you would run into this guy with an Ash Ketchum profile. I kept telling him to shrimp cabinet because krill your shelf. Anyways, the reason why it's not really that good in Ubers, not necessarily bad, but not good, is because normal Arceus, the one you see in this team right here before your eyes, is actually good. And some people play Cyclizar. I did for a while. And some people even play Terra normal with Rayquaza, because Dragonite does that in OU. So that must mean it's good in Ubers too. It is, by the way, because it shits on Kyogre. And he's like top 15. You know who isn't top 15, but is instead arguably top 1? Debatably top 2, and more commonly agreed on top 3? Zacian Crowned, who for some reason is not ass blasted into AG despite being the third best mon that happens to also counter the top 2 mons. It's very weird. This isn't like a how come they haven't banned it thing. It's more like me actually in bewilderment and awe of nature, seeing how, you know, animals and their environment interact. Like, somehow this thing is broken as shit and beats the top 2 Pokemon, but, like, also beats everything else, but still isn't, like, worthy of a ban to AG. I don't know. This mod's really funny, though. And it's here because it's, like, the best Pokemon in the team, and it's just really good, and it can sweep at any point in the game, depending on the opponent's team and what they let get chipped or not. So, it's Terra Fire, even though this still makes us really weak to Earthquake, and this team is pretty fucking weak to Earthquake. That's what the Garantina is for. And also, I think personally I should make the Eternatus Terra Grass. That's beside the point. It's Terra Fire because it will resist other Zacians trying to get a neutral hitting. And when I say neutral hitting, I mean it still hits really fucking hard because it's coming from another Zacian crowned Behemoth Blade. And it also takes neutral moon blasts from, like, I don't know. What's shooting moon blast again in the tier? I guess Judgment Fairy Arceus is technically clicking that moon blast too. Anyways, this makes it take less instead of just neutral. And it also gets rid of your fire weakness, which is actually way more important because Skeledirge is the third most used Pokemon in the tier, and also Fire Blast is on a lot of things. Believe it or not, for some reason people think Lava Plume Groundon's good because it has Sun. Oh yeah, the more important thing that actually matters, you don't die to a Choice Scarfed Flare Blitz Koraidon. That's the best Pokemon in the tier, by the way. You have Trailblaze on so that you can outspeed things. Like the Choice Scarf Koraidon that no longer gets a kill on you with Flare Blitz. You can just Trailblaze and get some chip. And then from there, you can quite literally just Behemoth Blade. You don't even have to risk the play rough. You could just Behemoth Blade and you'll kill them if they're not switching out. Zacian Crown speed tier is ridiculous. I don't know why it has that much speed. I think that's, like, really weird of them to do. Yeah. Anyways, I named him Happy because my dog's name is Happy, and I love my dog. I don't really love Zacian Crown. I couldn't really think of a name, and if I see one more person naming it Seif, I'm sending you to Gitmo. Crime, unoriginality. Sorry. Speaking of Zacian Crown, I'm going to skip all the way down to Eternatus. Choice Scarf Eternatus is so awesome. I like it more than Specs Eternatus. You want to know why? It outspeeds Zacian Crown. And then you Fire Blast their Zacian Crown. And they can't OHKO you unless for some reason they Swords Dance in front of a Eternatus. Oh, man. Sorry. Talking about Ubers is making me deathly ill. It's almost as if I got toxicked by the Clodsire. I want to talk about what Clodsire is there for. While Eternatus makes for an insanely good lead against certain teams, because just being able to click Dynamax Cannon into a team that doesn't have a fairy type, or common mons that Terra into fairies, is really good in OHKOs things. Especially people who think, yeah, I'm gonna bulk up with my Koraidon, or I'm gonna Dragon Dance my Rayquaza turn 1, because they're gonna switch, thinking I'm gonna click Earthquake. Hey, shithead. Die. But Clodsire's main purpose isn't to counter these mons. It's literally just the greatest Kyogre switch-in I think I could ever ask for. It just destroys Kyogre. You toxic that poor bastard, and all they can do is hope that Ice Beam freezes, and if it does, maybe they win. But you're a piece of shit, and you didn't earn that win if you did that to me. And one time someone did that to me, and I got so frustrated. Not necessarily mad, though. But it was awful, and I didn't like it. Arceus is... like, sure, that sure is D-Dance Extreme Speed with Stab, you know, Dragonite, but it's actually there to be a taunter, and then when you're done taunting, you can set up D-Dances. That's what it's really there for. It's there for the taunt. Because there was some fucking asshole one day on the Uber's ladder who would sit down with multiple instances of Showdown open and would just load the exact same team but different usernames of Clodsire, Blissey, Corv, Toxapex, and basically playing full stall. And all they did was just put themselves at certain increments on the ELO ladder. So they would be at 1,000 and 100,000 and 1,200 or 1,100, sorry. And they were just there to troll. And I got so fed up with their piece of shit ass with the same team, with the same fucking Ash profile picture that I told them to shrimp cabinet and, you know, because krill your shelf. And then I slapped this Arceus on my team, and I never lost to them again. Because after I beat them once, they never appeared ever again on the ladder. And their accounts have been offline since. So, I hope he took the advice. Taunt is very, very, very funny on Arceus, because it's in the perfect speed tier to just stop shitmons from being stally or setting up. And then they'll be like, oh, I guess I'll just click and attack because you're going to switch, probably. Nope, I'm D-dancing and you're getting swept, shithead. It's also very good for idiots who still think last respects is a thing that they should do in Ubers. It's better and anything goes. Don't ask why, I'm not elaborating. And it definitely has everything to do with Calyrex being the best, like, mon to just click buttons with, and then when you lose it, you can switch to the last respects mon. Anyways, I have to cough. That wasn't a joke, I really had to. It should be pretty obvious why Skeledirge is the third most used Pokemon in the Ubers tier when you look at what's in there. Zacian Crowned, ooh, the Koraidon, ooh. Skeledirge kind of comes in and says, shut the fuck up, and it also likes to hex things, and it hurts Garantina. Speaking of, look, it's Garantina Origin. I talked about it in the last video, and it's the exact same set with a different Terra this time, because I was so tired of Terra, Ghost, Shadow Sneak doing nothing. This mod is only there just to get chip on shit that's like low, but they're like speed boosting a Spathra still, because they can't let go of when the OU ladder was free for them. Why did they take so long to ban a Spathra, by the way? That shit went to fucking BL because the OU cancel's fucking stupid. Fun fact, PokeAim, as of the day I'm recording this, did a Gen 5 video, and every team Finch sent him was fucking shit and never won anything. Except the final game, because the opponent literally was brain dead and clicked Earthquake twice on a flying type. If somehow this video blows up, Finch, can you please stop, like, starting fights on Twitter, and then 3 days later, crying on Twitter about people being mean to you, and then 6 hours later on the same day, immediately starting fights again on Twitter? Like, holy shit, you fucking walking victim complex. You're the type of person who has never struggled, or if they have, they never learned any valuable lesson from it. Shrimp cabinet. Anyways, I was so tired of the Shadow Sneak not mattering with the Ghost Terra, and then I got Dracoed and then would die. The Steel type stops it, but it also stops me from getting toxic, and it also helps with switching into Ice Beam, because this team, like, let's say I lose to Clodsire, and because it's frozen, and their specs Kyogre Ice Beam, which is very common, actually. This kind of helps. And when I say helps, I mean I'm suffering. I hate it when Ice Beam freezes me. Anyways, this is a team literally built around the idea of me hating good teams, and also bad teams that play last respects. Also, Magirna's considered bottom tier in Ubers, which is insane to me. I think Ubers Council, if that's even really a thing, forgot about sub Calm Mind. I think they should